There. So today, it's Sunday, and like most people that I know, I went to church. And regardless of whether you believe in higher power or whether you believe that there's something, someone all-knowing and omnipotent out there, I think religion applies to everyone, regardless if you're an atheist or Buddhist, or if your way of life is considered your religion. There's just some good messages. Today, in the gospel I heard at church, it was Jesus and his analogies. I don't know, Jesus, he was good at analogies. Like, that was his analogy game was strong. And I mean, this guy, he just analogies for days. Like, he wouldn't talk to people, crowds of people without analogies. And the one he said today was about planting wheat in a field, in a huge field, and how one of his enemies came and planted a bunch of weeds among the seeds of wheat. So it was an analogy for the world, and how the wheat were the people, the good people, and the field was the world, and then the workers were the angels, and how the angels were talking to the owner, which would probably be God, the owner of the plot of land, and they said, "Hey, should we pick out all these weeds, or nah?" And then the owner said, "No. Let them grow alongside the wheat, and then when they're fully ready to harvest, we'll just pick up all the weeds and take them to burn, and we'll harvest all the wheat and put it in a storage." And it's such a good analogy, because it perfectly embodies exactly the point it's trying to get across. And it got me thinking, because the weeds are the bad people. And it doesn't mean that all the wheat are all the religious and devoted and totally faithful, because it's hard to be religious in this day and age. It's so easy to say, you know what, that's a load of baloney. There's no way that someone could have created everything that is here today. I believe in the Big Bang and evolution, and there's no room for error, because there's both sides of an argument. I feel like you can't have science without religion, but you can't have religion without science, because there's flaws in both arguments, realistically. And so, I think what I'm trying to say is, I don't really know what I'm rambling about, to be honest. I think it's just Sunday, and I'm just like, oh, religion, meh. But religion doesn't have to be about God or, believing in a higher power. I think it's about being a good person and doing the right thing. Everybody's sense of right and wrong is totally different. But I feel every person, no matter their religious orientation, if you will, should always strive to help those around them. Because if you go out of your way to help someone, maybe that person will be inspired to go out of their way to help someone. And it'll go on into a giant chain. Obviously, it won't wrap around the whole world, because Lord knows there's a bunch of psychopaths out there. But I think if we all just did our part and did just something nice for someone else, I guess you just never know how much of an impact you have on someone until you do something for them. I know I can still remember tons of nice things people have done for me from years and years ago, and I remember just as vividly the bad things people do to me and say to me. Those things never leave you. Well, speaking of myself, of course, those things have never left me. In the back of my mind, those flaws that have been pointed out, or mean things that have been said about me, I'm always going to carry them with me, and they're always going to be in a little bag of insecurities inside of me. But, just as in that same place, there's that place where all the nice things that people have done for me are stored. And I think what I'm trying to say is, in that field of wheat and weeds, I think you have a choice to be a wheat plant. I mean, logistically, you probably cannot choose your plant orientation if you were a plant. Like, you can't just be like a sunflower and turn into a rose. But in the metaphorical world of fields, I think you have a choice to be wheat and not be a weed, and not have to ruin everything you touch and be a burden on other people. I think in this world, I know everybody. At the end of the day, no matter what, the choice is yours to do whatever you want. There's absolutely nothing, because at the end of the day, you're the one that decides what you do and what you say and who you are and what you become, because you choose everything that you want to do, regardless of who's influencing you. So all I have to say is, don't be a weed. Be wheat. So that one day you can be ground into flour and you can make a cake. And you can be part of a cake full of rainbows and smiles, and we can all eat it and be happy. That's all I've got today. Still working hard today. So I think I'm going to work on this, and I know I'm going to try to work on this in my life. To not be a weed. To not do weed. Well, no, I'm not going to do weed. To be wheat. Because wheat is good. Thank you.